Hey, what's up? I'm Chico, and thank you for stopping by. So, it was a great weekend at the box office. We made it through the Barbenheimer event, and we had a good time. Uh, Quick suggestion if you're going to try to pull this off, see if you can do it the other way. Watch Oppenheimer first and then Barbie, mainly because Oppenheimer is a great movie, but it's going to need all your brain power, your focus. So, um, then you can finish up the night with a little fun with Barbie. Now, quick look at the box office numbers. As you can see, it did great, breaking records. Quick shout out to Mission Impossible. Don't forget about it. I think Tom Cruise and the crew did really well on this movie. It was a lot of fun to watch, and it definitely left us both wanting to see part two. Sound of Freedom, breaking records too, doing awesome. 124 million. They never would have thought, nobody would have thought. I'm really happy to see that happening. Hopefully, it keeps going. And then Oppenheimer and Barbie, we're going to talk about on these two, both breaking records. Oppenheimer for an R-rated movie, doing great there and overseas, as you can see, and only mainly in IMAX screens. And then Barbie just tearing faces, right? I mean, Jesus Christ. This is the power of social media, though, right? The meme got out, the Barbenheimer thing, and everybody bought in, and it's people had a great time. People had a great time. You know, quick picture of like at the theater. I mean, just a snapshot. I didn't want to be a creeper or anything, but this was us at the behind here at the concession stand. There was so many people at the theater, and everybody had so much fun. I mean, families, big groups of friends, everybody in circles, going around talking, having fun, laughing, dressed in pink, taking pictures with Oppenheimer and the Barbie box. Everybody had a good time, and that's the main thing. That's what it's about. People being people again, right? And us making my weight worth at the concession stand because I love these things. In case you haven't tried them yet, these garlic parmesan pretzels bites are so delicious. They never make it to the start of the movie. And of course, delicious popcorn and green apple icy, the new one, delicious. Again, we had a great time and a good experience watching both. Now, totally different movies, right? Barbie and Oppenheimer. Um, where's my Barbie? Here we go. What can I say about it? I mean, I was a little reluctant to go see it, but I did want to see it. That's the truth. So I've been watching the trailer for a long time now, and I was kind of turned off by the start. Or the trailer just used to be that first scene where the girls are breaking all the dolls, and she's just standing there looking down on them, smiling. Um, didn't particularly like the scene, but no big deal. Again, it didn't discourage me. Now, going in, I kind of expected from what I seen and all the other advertisement now that it's going to be kind of a male bashing type of event. Uh, Now I can take a lot of it. I've been watching a lot of it lately, so I try to take a neutral approach. And this was a little, I guess, I suspected. This type of humor is not really funny to me. Like, let's see, these things, they're not funny. But it's not to say the movie was horrible. There's a lot of good things. Margot Robbie, of course, perfect. Not she wasn't the evil Barbie. She was the broken down Barbie. Her, she was really funny. Ryan Gosling, um, both of them, they did a great job in this movie. I mean, tough roles, right? I mean, you got to play dolls. You got to find a happy medium between having a plot or story and being silly with a make believe background. As you can see, it looks great. So all that stuff itself is worth watching the movie. There's plenty of laughs in it. There's a plenty cool jokes and some bad ones, but overall, I mean, if it wasn't for the bad message, I mean, I don't really like movies or enjoy movies where it's kind of separating men and women, like we don't need each other or we don't like each other. And this movie just does that too much. There was a moment where maybe they could have saved it when Barbie tried to apologize for what she did. I mean, I think she should have. It's really role reversal, and instead it just kind of still breaks down to like, men and women are better off by themselves. Um, Blaming or victimizing themselves. I don't know. There was a really emotional scene with America Ferrera, and even though she did a good job of delivering her speech. Um, both Redsum and I looked at each other like these things are just they're just not problems. They're just make believe stuff. I understand. Their unrealistic view. I know that Barbie poses a physical pressure on women having to feel like they have to be like her in any way, but I don't know. For me, it just missed in that sense. But in the other sense, just watching a movie for a good time, it did well enough. The whole complaint about figures and stuff, it just doesn't com- register with me. 'Cause this is what we had to grow up with, right, man? Even though I didn't have any toys myself, but was it any different for us? I don't really feel like blaming He-Man for making me want to go to the gym and working out. Um, I don't think of myself as a victim because I don't look anywhere as buff as he does. But um, it's just an example of what it is. So there is more to it. I don't want to ruin it. There is uh, enough to say, tell a different story. Because I don't know, I'm never going to be a fan of toxic feminism. I believe both men and women should work together, should exist together, and be happy together. So anyone that kind of goes against that is not going to be on what I want to see. This here is a great example in 17 seconds of what I consider what a strong woman, what they want to do, really. I understand they want to promote women, you know, being strong and whatnot. And this movie was made 30 years ago, where I would say that, in spite of these muscle, masculine, testosterone ridden guys, the survivors in this movie was her, an untrained woman, even though she was a captain, and one of the most memorable and likable characters, Ripley, and a 5-year-old girl. Everyone else got killed except them and one other guy, one Marine that made it with barely any life left in Higgs. But this movie here shows you what I believe they want to do: create a strong character woman that everybody likes. Anybody that has seen this movie, any man, and you let me know if you remember this, if you remember Vasquez. Hey, Vasquez.
Have you ever been mistaken for a man?
No. Have you?
Oh, Vasquez. You're just too bad.
In 17 seconds, you see one of the most memorable characters for anybody that has seen, pretty much anybody who likes movies. You see a muscle bound guy taking a shot at her, but instead of her being a victim or feeling like she's being attacked in a negative way, she just gives it to him right back, and then it's laughing. And then her friend, her teammate, who she
You're just
cares
too
about,
bad.
look at them together. Now you see like a look of disdain that you see nowadays. It's like, no, look at the way she looks at him, the way he looks at her. Okay, and they're just friends. They're not even a couple. They're teammates. Um, this is what I like to see in movies: men and women being strong together. They have a bigger threat to deal with than it is their petty differences. So, um, just an example of what it is, or what it makes me think. Like, man, sometimes when I see some of the problems that they do or they pose, it's like it's just self-inflicted, and we have to do better. Anyway, that's that. Because Oppenheimer, I mean, this was a great movie, but again, I'll say again that you need to be focused. It is a 3-hour marathon. And to put it bluntly, after having watched like males being bashed, now you're going to see a movie where you're going to watch a bunch of old white guys talk politics, science, and other things. Um, might be difficult, but this is so well done. This is something that must be seen because, I mean, it's real, right? It's based on real things, and it's something that you need to know about what's going on in the background, how things work. All the actors here, Matt Damon there plays great. Cillian is obviously probably going to win the Oscar for Oppenheimer. Um, you got Robert Downey Jr. playing Krauss. I mean, such a good cast, and they pull it off. Something to say is odd because I mean they really want you to see this on IMAX, and I found it weird because there's not much big explosions or type of action in this movie. This 80% is mostly talking and like interactions like this. So, but we watched it on Dolby because we couldn't make it to the IMAX. It was sold out. And another big plus to this movie was the soundtrack. My God, So this is how you make conversations be exciting, because the music in the background was just intense. As discussions were going on, heated battles were going on, the music was just going along with it, and you kind of like involved, or you feel it. So that is a big plus if you make it to the Dolby version of this. The payoff on this, if I can call it a payoff, the explosions, they look really awesome. It's scary because there is the real part of it about it, right? So I believe if you can keep up with it, it will blow your mind. Shout out to Emily Blunt right there and Florence Pugh. They were both awesome. Both of them awesome. Really hot scene between Florence Pugh and Cillian here. Um, yeah, I mean, I loved it. Red Zoom, she couldn't make it through it. It's a little too much for her, but maybe I can talk her into seeing the IMAX version in the near future, because it's definitely worth seeing. Every bit as good as the hype is, and they don't make movies like this that much anymore. So, um, yeah, I mean, look at his face. He has the perfect face to show you all the mental stuff that they have to go through, right? After developing the hydrogen bomb, the atom bombs. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. That face right there tells you a lot of how the movie goes. So definitely, don't miss it. Don't miss it. It is definitely a masterpiece. Okay, so that's it for this one. Did I keep it? Yeah, 10 minutes. Not bad. All right. If you stayed this long, thank you. Please do a like and subscribe if you like the commentary. Try to be honest about these things. And all right, see you on the next one.